So here's a really memorable studio moment for me. Working with Dream and Tricky. First of all, them boys are crazy. I love them because they crazy. We have a great time because I guess that means I'm crazy too. And I did a few records with them for my album. But I just remember us just clowning the entire time. And Dream was like, let's take a break. I was like, okay, cool, let's take a break. He was like, we just gonna go ride or whatever. We're gonna go ride and let's all head over to the house real quick. So we hop in his car. We're driving through the back roads of Atlanta. And him and Tricky just all of a sudden had a moment of just like an Outkast outburst and decided to like have an Outkast concert in the middle of us riding to his house. So he turns up the radio, we're in the car, literally screaming and rapping Bombs Over Baghdad at the top of our lungs. Remind you, I ain't never been in a car with him before, so I don't know if I really trust his driving. So swerving and rapping and singing Bombs Over Baghdad. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just those type of experiences and those types of moments, even though as minute as they might seem, they make your sessions all that more great, all that more fun. And I like the fact that we were able to just like get in the car, just let our hair down a little bit. We had car concerts, which was really cool to me. A super duper memorable studio session was working with Alicia Keys. And that song ended up being It's a New Day. I was in New York and I don't know if I was there for promo, whatever, but I ended up stopping by the studio to go say what up to Swiss. And that's like, bruh, and I'm like over there chatting up with him. He was like, oh, I got this, Alicia has this record I really think that you should work with her on. I was like, all right, bet, like send it over, let me know, whatever. So I get back to LA, I'm thinking, okay, maybe they forgot, whatever, I don't know. And then true enough, he has her people call. They're like, yeah, so we're gonna do the session over Skype. For me, that was the first of its kind for me. I'm used to being able to like be in the room with an artist, maybe talk it out with them, figure out, it's very different. But with technology these days, we make it work all types of ways. We get on Skype. She was like, yo, how are you? I'm like, hey, she's like, so I'm gonna send you the record. I have this part in there already, but just, write this next part and then I'll check back in with you in a couple hours. I'm like, all right, cool, bet. So I probably wrote those verses, probably had about four hours. I probably wrote at least a good 8 verses for the same song because I was just nervous as shit and didn't know if she was gonna like it. And she ended up checking back in with me later and I'm just like looking at the clock and I'm like, which I was actually really happy about that because thank God she wasn't in the room to see me sweat over writing these verses. But ended up getting back on Skype a few hours later. She loved everything. It ended up being for a song called New Day, which she ended up making a single, one of her first singles. And she was like, well, she loved it so much. She ended up flying me to New York and ended up writing more records for her. So for me, like, it's one of them situations where we're in a technology age. So sessions how they used to have them and sessions how we do them these days are like night and day. But you got to use the stuff to your advantage. And it actually ended up working out. And we got a good record out of it. I got an Alicia placement.
It was speaking to women, the first lines, And so by the time we got to the hook, the first melody that I came up with, I'm like that. I just am very spontaneous on the spot. And I just, on my way around. On my way around. And his eyes lit up and he's like, yo.
He was able to narrate everything that I sung through dance. And I always respected that. So when I heard Fade, that's what Fade gave me. It gave me that I need to narrate these words. I need to bring to life what he's saying with dance. So I hit up Guapo. He's a perfect person for that.
And me, I'm like, yo, I'm not progressing and I'm not in this business to look lit to you and really be burnt out. And so I made a decision just to quit my job and I got on a plane, went to LA, sold everything in my house. Said, fuck it.
You got to be good at what you do because that's what's going to back it up at the end of the day. That's all that matters. Just stay hard, grind. You got to grind like the boys do. They stay in the studio for days. I do 12-hour blocks in the studio now. Like, you got to have that hustle.